Hey everybody, Ryan F. MTG here, and today I want to talk about individual cards from the Force Seekers. The set's been out for about a week, so we kind of know the metagame, we kind of know what cards have been doing good or bad, and kind of overperforming, underperforming. Last week we did a set review for each color. So if you want to see, me talking more in depth about every single card in the set, you can look back at the history for those. But today specifically, I'm taking two cards from each color to talk about that I think have been pretty good so far. Yes, it's only been a week, but these are kind of the standouts. I was just going to do standout cards in general, but then the list was basically a lot of green. So that's why I was like, okay, let's just pick two cards from each color to diversify this video a little bit. Of note, I'm not talking about legendaries because I think legendaries are kind of in their own camp because they're usually very powerful and in a different way. So, that's almost going to be a different video in it of itself. As you can see, Mega Tortoise is up here because I'm surprised by this card. This card looked it looked good, but maybe not great, and it's been overperforming. Yet again, maybe down the line, a lot of Ryu lists are cutting this, but right now I'm liking Mega Tortoise. It might not be a 3-of, a lot of people are doing 2-ofs, but if you can get one hit with this of 3 damage, that's good, right? That's above rate for 3 MP. However, if you can get 2, that's way above rate. Yes, you can play this and it can die and not hit anything for 3, and that feels bad. So maybe that's why it's not a 3-of, maybe that's why it's just a 2-of. But for right now, I'm liking this, and I've actually been playing 3-of. To be fair, I am playing this in a lot more Ascend style deck, so you're sacrificing your creatures more. And maybe once we really flesh out the fine-tuned Ryu list, maybe Tortoise does not find a home in that. But for right now, I'm liking this Mega Tortoise quite a bit. The other red card is another unit, Spile Pegasus. This is awesome. 4 MP for a 2/4, that's pretty fine stats, and it deals 2 damage to the unit in front. So kind of like Axel, but 2 damage rather than 1 damage. That's awesome. Ascend, it deals 4 damage split among enemy units. That's awesome, because that 4 damage is spread, the 2 damage is just in front. So as long as there's a unit in front and you have this Ascended, it's dealing 6 damage in total. That is so good for 4 MP, because usually 4 MP, we're usually getting about 3 damage splits or to 1 target. So 6 is double that. This is very, very powerful. Also, unlike the Mega Tortoise, I feel like this is going to find a home for the vast majority of the season, because this, yes, it is a Ascend card, so therefore you do have to sacrifice a unit to ascend this, but even if you're not ascending this, this is still a good unit, and this does not have to be in an ascend package. There's no real workaround to just get the payoff. So overall, Spile Pegasus is probably like my number 1 red card right now. Time to pivot over to green. Obviously, green has a lot of busted, or if they're not busted, they're at least very, very good. And, Yonli's been rampant the past week or so. So they're both units, the 2 units that I think are very good. First up is Rainy. This machine is a heavy hitter. It's kind of what makes the Yonli deck tick. 4 MP for 110, okay, not great. Ascend, it gets +3 attack and gains spillover. So it becomes a 410 with spillover for 4 MP. This is a finisher for 4 MP that all you have to do is sack a creature for. Also, usually Yonli's playing a lot of the MP little ramp units. So once you net some MP, you can sacrifice that and that's fine. Yon, this is just starts the machine, starts the snowball effect. And overall, Rainy is a heavy hitter for sure. Now is the tank. 6 MP for 2/8 with shield, anti-air. Yes, it can't attack, but as long as you sack a creature, usually one of those little MP boost creatures, it gets +4 attack, and it can actually attack. So it becomes a 6/8 with shield and anti-air, which is great, because anti-air actually comes up quite a bit, because there are a lot of flying units, even some with agility, and this is such a big body that it's a wall. It's a tank wall. And, this with Rainy, really, those are the 2 units that is really making the Yonli Ascend deck work. So that's why these are the 2 units for sure, in my mind, for green. These are the best cards. Probably, maybe the best cards overall from the set, because green definitely got the most toys to play with. Next up is purple. Purple, not the heaviest hitter so far right now, but it's doing some really good work right now. First up is this little fuzzball, Palermo. This is 3 MP for 1/6 with flight. Okay, that's not great, but it's not terrible. However, if you ascend it, it gains agility and halts the unit in front for 13 seconds, which is awesome because agility means that it's hitting a lot more rapid, which is fantastic. It's hitting in the air, so it's usually gaining for damage. And then the halt is just kind of extra gravy. And overall, this little fuzzball is almost making a whole new, not a whole new deck, but definitely a deck, surrounded by it with a lot of pump spells, kind of like just a ton of pump spells, and it's because of this little fuzzball, because you just pump it up so fast, and then it's hitting for so much so fast because it has flight, which is evasion, and agility. So if you even can get this, 3 attack, which is pretty arbitrary in those decks, this is awesome. It's 2 MP for a counter spell. If a friendly unit on the field has Ascend, which a lot of times the fuzzball has Ascend, or you are playing other Send units in a purple deck, sometimes it's purple black is usually it, and you're playing other Send units, you negate an action card with 5 MP or less. So yes, there is a couple hoops to jump through that it is Ascend status on the field. So you have to ascend that fuzzball or whatever unit, and it has to still be on the field when you use this counter spell. But for 2 MP to counter a 5 MP play is humongous. And yes, maybe overall this is not better than some of the other counter spells, but I definitely feel like this has a home in some variety. Yes, we do have a lot of other cheap counter spells, but I really like this one, and this one's playing out a little bit better than I thought. So this is kind of in the camp of it might not be the best, and it might not really find a home, but it's definitely way better than I thought it would be originally, as well as it's already kind of found a home. Even if that home kind of weeds this out eventually, it's still there, and it's still a decision up to the player of, do I want to play this or a different counterspell from a different set? So overall, like, this plus the fuzzball is really fun because it makes this just kind of obnoxious Akuma list that can really win it's the glass cannon, right? It wins the game very fast or loses the game very fast. Now for the last color, black. So Starvation Impulse kind of goes into the black-purple list that we just talked about, or also it's going in Nergigante lists as well. This pump spell is very, very good and kind of surpassed my expectations for it. It is sacrifice 3 life, which, 3 life is about the same that you sacrifice for most of the efficient black pump spells, and it gives a friendly unit +1/+1. However, if you've ascended at least once this battle, of note, it doesn't have to be on the battlefield, it just is the whole entire battle. So you could ascend it once, that creature gets killed, you could still play this, it gets an additional +2/+2. So as long as you've ascended once, it's lose 3 life, give a unit +3/+3. That is awesome to put on a fuzzball or on a flyer or just kind of anything, because +3/+3 is really big, and this fits so nice in Spike Launch because you're losing some life, or in, the black-purple Akuma lists, you're winning the game so fast that you usually don't care about sacrificing 3 life. So either way, this is a very efficient, heavy hitter pump spell. The last card I want to talk about is Ashford. This is 5 MP for a 3/8. It says sacrifice 3 life when played. Okay, that's not awesome. However, it has Ascend, destroy a random enemy unit with MP cost 5 or less. That is awesome. There are so many units that are being played, or usually are being played in Teppen, that are 5 MP or less, because 5 is kind of high. This is killing Rainy Turtle. Yes, it's not killing the tank, but this is also killing Fuzzball and just a lot of stuff. Yes, it is at random, so there is variance to that, so you might not always be killing what you want, but this is still such a good Ascend card for sure. And also the sacrificing 3 life, yes, it is meaningful, but you can even play this in Spike Launch, and that downside now fuels your hero power. So overall, this is one of the Ascend cards in black that I definitely think is the best, because this is just kind of finding a home in everything. Even if you're not, Dark Destruction Wesker or something, you could play this because this is just an efficient removal spell. Then on a 3/8 body, which a 3/8 body will trade or hit a little bit, and that is no joke. So cards that I am either thinking are the best so far, or that have surprised me, or, you know, kind of like the Fuzzball and the Counterspell, they've kind of made their own deck kind of warped around them, and I think that's pretty cool, and especially when we are just a little over a week into the metagame, to really already see some of these cards take off. And yes, of course, green's taken off, you know, almost after just the first day, because it's a little bit too overpowered, but it's nice that other colors, you know, each color seemed to get some good stuff. Yes, some colors got a little bit more, some colors got a little bit less, but it wasn't that hard to find my 2 favorite cards from each and every color. So I'll probably do a legendary review of, like, you know, best legendary of each color or something like that in the future. But, you know, if I was talking about legendary, this list would probably be mostly full of legendary cards, and I didn't really want that for this video. But thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.